All right, man, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back, man. Welcome back to another episode of Winner's Diet Show. I'm your host, Mac Solomon, aka Project Mac. Welcome. We're back again, guys. Another week of hard work, another week of uh, just living life, man, and just putting that work in and trying to get to that other side. But here we are again. We're back. We're we are well rested on this lovely Friday afternoon. Hope you guys are enjoying your start of your weekend. I know I will. So yeah, man, we got a whole show lined up for you guys. A great show lined up. Um, and we're just gonna be dropping gems, giving you guys some value, and of course, trying to make you guys entertain along the way. So without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. Before we start, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You guys know how I feel about that. Push us up that algorithm. We've been growing a lot, man, on TikTok. Instagram is a little bit slower right now. It's a slower game, but um, as far as TikTok, man, we're definitely seeing a lot of love on TikTok. So shout out to everybody that's been contributing, as far as engaging, as far as showing love, following. It just lets me know that the message is getting out there and that people are rocking with what I'm saying. It's one thing to just have a TikTok and, post content, but when the content is resonating with the people that you want to target, or just people in general that feel what you're saying, man, it feels good. It definitely feels good. I definitely appreciate everybody that's been supportive. And one thing that I do appreciate about TikTok is, man, one thing about TikTok is they push their content everywhere. Um, and I get a majority strangers that support my stuff. The reason why I don't really care too much for IG is because most of the people that see my stuff on Instagram is people I know, right? Because I'm starting from scratch. I'm starting from a brand new page. So I know that it's going to take a lot of time to grow it to where I want it to be. And I don't have the sexiest niche, right? I don't have the most aesthetically pleasing Instagram for Winner's Diet. It's about fitness and my thoughts on certain things. So I got to compete with a lot of the other stuff that most creators are doing. But um, for the most part, man, I know basically who sees my stuff and who's watching my stuff on Instagram. On TikTok, I'm seeing a majority of just strangers, bro, commenting, agreeing, disagreeing. Just they're just engaging. They're better. It's better engagement on TikTok. Now, I do want to build, the platform on Instagram, but the way it's looking right now, man, I don't know if my Instagram can compete long term with my TikTok, because my TikTok is just growing. I'm already up 700 followers in like 2 months. I mean, it might not be a lot to some people, but to me, that's a lot, especially because I've been posting consistently for the last 2 months. I have a 90-day run right now. I have a 90-day plan as far as posting every day, 2, 3 times a day on all socials. Um, for 90 days, and then we can evaluate where we are, where we can expect to be at. But as of right now, this is where we are, man. And TikTok has just been growing rapidly, um, faster than I thought, and it's definitely great. I just wish that I could have that same growth on Instagram, but for whatever reason, Instagram just is not showing me no love, man. So I mean, it's a long game. We just got to keep playing, but so far, man, so far TikTok has been the biggest engine right now. So hopefully we can get some sales and get some people out of that. But right now, we're still focused on Instagram. But in the meantime, TikTok is kind of killing it. So we gotta double down on what's working. So, but anyway, man, let's get into today's show. You guys know, if you're first time here, we have 3 segments on this show. The first segment is the Fit Report, basically going over fitness news, what's going on in the fitness world, health world, wellness, giving my opinions on that. And then we have the second segment, which is what the fitness. So reacting to viral fitness videos that's out there, giving my opinion, and obviously giving some teachable moments in the process. And then finally, we have the main event. The main event covers the main message of the winner's diet. If you guys don't know what the winner's diet is, it's a philosophy that I have, basically, that is made up of your habits, who you're around, what you eat, and what you listen to. So those four things make up the winner's diet. Those four things are basically going to determine really how your life is going to go. So if you guys have not tapped in with the winner's diet, which is my philosophy, my brand, make sure you guys tap in. Follow me on all my socials. The handles are down here below my name, Winners Diet TV on Instagram, TikTok, Project Mac, which is my main page on Instagram. Tap in with that, and then YouTube as well. But anyway, let's get into today's first segment, man. Before I do that, I got to hit my chapstick because my lips are as dry as the Sahara. 1 second. All right, man. Let's get into the first segment of today. This one is talking about Japan and Japan's diet and how they overcome obesity or depression, rather. So this study is showing this Japan diet can make you less depressed. Don't worry, it's just temporary. Ha 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 ha. I get it. I see what they did there. Anyway, while Japanese people eat a wide variety of diets, the most traditional is washoku. I think I'm saying it washoku. The plan is low in saturated fat and added sugar, high in fiber, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and packed with fermented foods that supports gut health. That means plenty of fish, miso soup, white rice, veggies, salt, soy, mushrooms, seaweed, and green tea. It's pretty clear Washoku is healthy, and a new study shows it can also help you beat the blues. The research published recently in the journal Psychiatry and Clinical Neurosciences tracked 12,500 Japanese workers from 2018 to 2021. Those who closely followed the Washoku diet were 17% to 20% less likely to experience depressive symptoms than low adherence peers. Most 88% of the participants were men in their early 40s. Nearly 31% reported symptoms of depression. Researchers created a 0 to 9 scale based on how often they consumed Washoku staples like mushrooms and fish. Those who stuck to the diet tended to be older, non-smoking, married women. They were also more likely to be well-educated, physically active in their free time, and work regular daytime hours. Scientists say the diet's signature ingredients, omega-3s from fish, antioxidants from veggies and seaweed, plus probiotic power from fermented soy, could boost mood and brain chemistry. Let's finish it up here. Plus, green tea is a longevity hack believed to do everything from improve heart health to starve off cancer and cognitive decline. The research points out that their findings added to the mounting evidence that what you eat can have a major impact on your mental health. I've been saying this shit for years, man. I've been saying this forever. I've been saying this, and you see why Japan has the society that it does, right? And I plan on going to Japan soon, but you see why Japan is where they are, how the people look, how they look. It's mainly in the food, man. It's always, whenever you look at a society, look at the economy, look at how the people interact, look how the energy of the city, always link it back to one, obviously the money, right? Always follow the money. And two, man, look at the diet, bro. Look at the food they eat. Look at the culture. You're not going to see this in American culture. Go outside right now and look at American culture. All you're going to see is fat, dumpy people walking around, depressed, moody, irritable, lazy. It's just American culture. But when you look at Japanese culture, look at the food they eat. Look at the systems that are in place to keep the society the way it is, right? I always say that the food you eat impacts your mental health. So what do you think happens when you are constantly putting in processed foods, when you're constantly eating sugar, when you're constantly drinking high caloric drinks that are high in sugar and other preservative and ingredients? What do you think is going to happen to your mental health? This is not a surprise. This is not something that's shocking, but it's something that I do believe that most people are not aware of. You know, most people just think they catch depression. No, it's really a lifestyle thing for the most part, right? There are certain things that happen to people. I get that trauma, things like that. And even that's a different story. But when we're looking at depression from a grand scale, in general, depression comes down to a lifestyle factor. It always comes back down to lifestyle factors. What is your daily habits? How do you eat every day? What is your routine? Do you have a routine? Do you have structure? Do you have discipline? If you don't have the core fundamentals, then yes, it's no wonder you're depressed. It's very common to be depressed when you don't have these things in place. So, yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, this is not surprising. This is not surprising at all. Um all the food is high in omega-3 fatty acids. And one thing that they do well, two things I would say is they focus on the macronutrients and the micronutrients. The micronutrients, so macronutrients really help your body composition. Macronutrients determine how much muscle you can put on. Macronutrients determine how much muscle you can put on based on how much protein you consume, right? The micronutrients determine how your body functions, determine your mood, it determines how you overall feel. So they do a great job of adding in, the whole puzzle. They prioritize macronutrients and prioritize micronutrients. And that's something that you have to do. Don't just, stick with don't just focus on macronutrients. You have to focus on the micro as well. You have to focus on the things that are going to make your body function at the highest level. Focus on the minerals that are going to help you have a better mood. You know, Focus on things that are going to support your gut health. Your gut health has a direct correlation to your mood. It has a direct correlation to how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So when you have a negative gut health, then yeah, you're more likely to become depressed. You're more likely to have an irritable spirit. You're more likely to not be in the best mood. So these are things that these are things that you get from having a great balanced diet. You know, you don't get this from having a bunch of processed foods and then every now and then you have chicken and rice. It's not how it works. You have to have a majority of healthy foods, mainly your macronutrients, protein, carbs, healthy fats, and then you have your micronutrients, right? The minerals, things that are going to help you accelerate in life, have a better mood, so on and so forth. So, um, we can learn a lot from Japan's diet system. We can learn a lot from Japan's overall lifestyle. And that's one thing that Japan prioritizes. They prioritize not just having healthy foods, they prioritize having a system. When you have systems in place, it's very hard for you to fail. We talked about this before about having, why your workout program didn't go the way you thought it would because the system that you had it under, it didn't work for you. So in this case here with Japan, the system works for all of its residents. It works for all of its, um, you know, all the people that are there. It just it starts from when they were very young in grade school into adulthood, and you see the result. And on top of that, They control their portion sizes. They're not eating until they feel full. They're not eating until, they want to go to sleep. The food they eat, it doesn't even cause you to go to sleep. The food we eat in America, that shit puts us right to bed. We get the itis when we eat food in America. We eat a big, like, if we eat a big ass meal in America, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get knocked out. Like you're knocking the fuck out in a few minutes. It's just the culture here. We don't really understand the importance of whole foods. We don't understand the importance of, nutrient dense foods. We eat a meal and we're still hungry because that whole meal wasn't, it didn't, like, we didn't absorb the food because it wasn't real food. Like, it's very common for us to, it's very common for us to just, you know, just have a shit diet out here, man, and really just eat whatever's in front of us. So shout out to Japan, man. I definitely want to go soon. I will go soon. And it will give me a deeper look and insight on just how that society is ran. So I'm definitely looking forward to going out there pretty soon. All right, let's take a look at the next article here. Where we at with it, man? Where we at? Okay. How many of you guys like crumbl cookie? How many of you guys have had crumbl cookie? So this article says reports indicate crumbl cookies are linked to cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Multiple reports indicate that crumbl cookies, while popular, contain several ingredients raising health concerns due to potential links to health issues such as cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Ingredients linked are TBHQ, titanium dioxide. I can't even say what the hell this is. Acesulfame, potassium, soybean oil, excessive sugar, mono and diglycerides, artificial and natural flavors. Look, man, I've had crumbl cookie in the past. Crumbl cookie is a very I'll just say it's bad for you. It's not good for you. One cookie is about 800 calories on average. Depending on what you get, it's about 700 to 800 calories on average. It's about 100 grams of sugar. It's about over 100 grams of carbohydrates in one cookie. And as you can see, let's just real quick again. Let's look at the ingredients in crumbl cookie. Right? This is just one cookie. Ingredients include TBHQ, titanium dioxide. I can't even carrageenan, acesulfame, potassium, soybean oil, excessive sugar, mono and diglycerides, artificial and natural flavors. That's all in one cookie, bro. And you wonder why it's linked to cancer. There's no. It's very clear as to why people are getting cancer and eating crumbl cookie. And I used to eat crumbl cookie a lot, but I had to stop because, I would just look at the back ingredients, man. I would look at the food label and I would see just how bad this shit was for you. It was so bad for you, man. Especially when they had like those special cookies, right? The limited edition ones. Them shits will be 1,000 calories in one cookie. It will be so crazy. And I would see people eating 2-3 cookies at a time, not caring. Folks will order they will order a whole box of cookies and just eat them. Like it was so crazy to me, man. And I would get a cookie maybe once every couple of weeks. This was years ago. I haven't had one since, but crumbl cookies is it's not good for you, man. It's not good for you. I don't think that company is gonna last very long. I know it was very popular during the pandemic. I know it was popular in like early 2022, 2023. I think that was its height, but it's died down ever since. and I don't really see them making a comeback ever soon. I do see them selling that company very soon because they could sell it for $1 billion if someone's willing to pay for it. I just saw an evaluation that the company is worth at least what, $1 to $2 billion. So the evaluation is there. So hold on, the evaluation is there. So if they ever wanted to sell, I mean, I think now would be the right time to sell. It's just who's going to pay for it. That's just the only concern. But hey, man, I wouldn't suggest you guys eat crumble cookie. There are different cookies that you can enjoy that are less than half the calories. Um, so just make better choices, man. That one cookie is about 2 meals. Just in one cookie, that's about 2 meals. That's how lethal that thing is. So I wouldn't suggest you eat that, mainly, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. Just stay away from it. I don't even look at it no more. And there's a bunch of crumbles around my area. So, but I haven't been there in years. So don't plan on going there again anytime soon. But shout out to them. All right, let's get to the last article here. Where we at with it, man? Make sure you guys hit that like button if you have not already. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. All right, so this article, it says most black professionals are overweight by 40. This is interesting. So let's check out what this thing has to say. It says 68% overweight by 40. UK, 68% of black adults are overweight. US, 76%. By 40, most of us are there. It's not laziness, it's life. Sedentary jobs, burning under 1,800 calories a day, cultural events where food equals love and refusal equals disrespect, doctors waiting until you're sick to care. That's generational health debt. And if we don't pay it off, our kids inherit it. I'll show you how to beat the stats without losing your coach. Okay, whatever. Okay. So this says that most black professionals are overweight by 40. And the main thing that they said was it's not laziness, it's life. And I call bullshit on that. Yeah, I call bullshit on that. It's definitely laziness. It's for sure laziness. Because being fat, being out of shape, being overweight is a choice. That's something you choose to do. There are millions and millions of people in this on this planet. There are millions of people in the world, billions of people in the world. And you're telling me that a majority of black men are overweight because of life, when there are people that look just like them in their 40s, 50s, 60s, making a lot of money, still in shape. You can't tell me. It's a choice. Because me being a fitness coach and being a fitness coach for the last decade, and I've trained professionals on all levels, pro athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, right? Everyday regular people. I've trained them all, man. And the ones that want to make time, make the fucking time. They make the time. We got 24 hours in a day. If you're the average person, 8 hours you spend working, 8 hours you spend sleeping. That's 16 hours. What are you doing for the last 8 hours of your day? You got 8 hours that you're not doing anything of significance. And you're telling me you can't spend 30 to 45 minutes. I'm not even asking you for an hour, bruh. I'm asking you for 30 to 45 minutes of just pure exercise. You can get a HIIT workout in 30 minutes. You can get a quick strength training workout in 30 minutes. You can get cardio knocked out in 30 minutes. And your excuse is life. No, it's your choices. That's what it is. It's your choices. There are millions of people in the US, and I guarantee you, a lot of them are finding a way to stay in shape because they want to be around. They want to be around to enjoy their money. Because this is the thing with Black culture that I've seen that I notice a lot, man. We we prioritize money over health. Yeah. In Black culture, we prioritize money over health. The bag is more important than us being healthy. And I get it, right? You need money to survive. But guess what? If you don't have your health, you're not going to survive anyway. Okay, let's just say you're 40 and you finally reach that, 120K a year job, corporate job, whatever it is, entrepreneur, whatever it is, but you're out of shape, but you're pre-diabetic. What's going to happen when you're in a hospital bed with tubes coming through your nose? That six-figure job ain't going to mean shit no more. What good is that job going to be for you at that point? Are you going to be able to travel? Are you going to be able to buy a new car, buy a new house? Like, that money is irrelevant at that point. But we spend so much, we see so many Black conferences about money, financial literacy, and I completely support that. But at the same time, when are we going to make an emphasis as Black people, as a culture, to put financial literacy and health on the same level? When is that going to happen? We always throw around the term, we always use the term generational wealth, generational wealth. Cool. Can we also start talking about generational health? Can we also start educating our kids on how to eat properly? Can we also start educating our culture on how to eat properly? Because every time I see it's a new brunch spot selling the same food that's gonna kill you, the same soul food, the same fried chicken and grits, the same mimosas, all you can drink, the same Hennessy wings, all you can eat. Like, bro, it's the same shit. But when I go to the gym, guess what? When I go to the gym, whether it be in the high-end gym or the average gym, guess what? I rarely see any Black people in there. Very rarely. Not as a collective. And I'm not shitting on that, but it's the truth. I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but it's the truth. This is what I see from the high-end gym to the low-end gym. There is no Black folks in there. And if there is, it's a very small percentage. And they're there every so often. But I see other groups. I see the Latinos. I see white people. I see Asians. I see Indians. But when it comes to us, it's here and there. And you guys can't tell me, oh, the gyms is too expensive. No. You can afford a $20 a month gym membership. Because why? Because I see you at brunch every other weekend or every weekend. I see you outside every weekend. I go to your Instagram story, you somewhere posting a picture of Don Julio and wings. Like, you can't tell me I don't got time to go to the gym. No, but you got time to go out and eat Church's chicken and drink, and do all this other goofy shit. But you can't dedicate 45 minutes to an hour of working out and getting in better shape. But you can be outside every weekend. You can be shaking ass on a table. You can be flexing bottles that you ain't paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about. Y'all will spend thousands of dollars to go to a financial course or for a financial course or go to a financial a financial convention or conference, but you guys can't take that same money and invest it in your health. It's crazy. And really, what do you get out of really going to a financial conference? Like, let's be honest. Do you really learn anything? Do you really take anything from there that you apply to your life and now you can become who you want to become? Or are you just there just for the idea of it? Did they sell you a dream? Like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, yes, we all need to strive to make more money. I get it. We're in last place, and this is going to tie into the main event later on in the show. But I get it, man. We all strive for more money. We all want to get there. but do not lose your health along the way. Do not forego your health along the way. Do not get out of shape along the way. Because I'm telling you right now, once you get out of shape, it's going to be very hard for you to get back in shape, especially if you don't have any type of discipline. If you're money hungry and your focus is solely on making money and climbing up the corporate ladder, it's going to be very hard for you to get back in that routine of or mindset of I need to get in better shape. Do not lose yourself in that process. It's very easy. I see it all the time. I know a lot of Black professionals, successful ones, on the men's side and the women's side. And guess what? They're all out of shape, or a majority of them. I don't want to say all of them, but a majority are out of shape. Why? Because once they get the bag, they feel like they made it. No, that should be the gateway for you to get in better shape. Because isn't the whole point of making more money is so that you can have access to certain things? Because I'll tell you right now, the rich, when they get money, they invest it back into themselves. They invest it back into their health. And I know this because I've trained these people. They make sure they're in shape. When we get money, we just spend it on dumb shit. We go to the club, we travel to Turks and Caicos. We're at brunch every weekend. We're buying shots. We're just doing damaging things that doesn't really bring us any type of value. It might feel good in the moment, but what does it really do for you long term? You're still not happy with, the way you look in the mirror, but you're making 120K. Cool. It don't really matter if you're out of shape, man. It don't matter if you're out of shape. You know what's dangerous? You know what's really dangerous? Making a lot of money and being in shape. That is very dangerous. Sure. Like, we're going to respect the guy that, has a high earning job. But if he's fat, he still don't get the same respect. Let's be honest. You're still not going to really give him his full respect because he really ain't earned it for real. Yeah, you make the money, but you really don't take care of yourself. And people don't respect that. Let's keep it 1,000, man. So this is the winner's diet philosophy, man. It's about your habits. The mindset is good, right? The mindset, you have it down as far as wanting to earn more money and change your life in a financial way. That is the perfect mindset to have, but don't forget about the health part. You still have to take care of your diet. You still have to eat clean. You still have to train hard. So if you're doing just 1 out of 3, then it really doesn't matter. I want you guys to hit every pillar. Have a great diet. Hang around the right people. Consume the right things. Consume the right content. And have great habits. Those are the 4 pillars of the winner's diet. Hit all 4. Don't just hit 2 out of 4. Don't just hit 1 out of 4. Strive to be the best person you can be, man, in all areas. No one's going to remember how much money you made when you die. What they're going to remember is your character and that this person was really disciplined and took care of himself. So you can take you could take that how you want to take it, man, but it's the truth. Take care of your health, focus on the bag, but don't neglect your health, man. All right, man. That is the last segment for the Fit Report. Let's move on to the next segment, What the Fitness. Let's go to the first video we have here. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so this guy talks about 3 ways to reverse obesity like Japan did. Okay, we kind of touched on this earlier, but let's see what he has to say about it from his point of view. Let me refresh this real quick so we get the whole video. All right, here we go.
There's 3 reasons why Japan's obesity rate is at 4% and ours is at 42%. And if you want to lose weight and keep it off, it'll be a good idea to adapt these 3 things. All 3 are amazing, but the third one is most important. We'll save it for the end. Number 1, structured eating. In Japan, most people eat 3 meals a day with little to no snacking in between. Breakfast might be rice, miso soup, fish, and a vegetable. Lunch could be a bento box or noodles with protein and veggies. And dinner is the largest meal, but portions are still moderate. Snacking happens, but it's rare and usually tied to social occasions, not boredom and habit like you see in the States. This structure, keyword, structure, leads to predictable eating. And predictable eating leads to predictable weight loss and predictable weight maintenance. In the US, most people graze all day, eat multiple meals plus snacks and coffee, and take nibbles and bites all day long. This consistent intake and lack of structure guarantees overeating, hence the obesity rates. Number 2, daily movement is built into life. In Japan, people just walk more in general. They don't randomly walk on a treadmill to lose weight, only to stop after they lost the weight or if they didn't lose weight fast enough. Let me know if it's sounding familiar. Walking is a part of the culture, not a punishment or a means to an end. People walk to school, to work, to the store. They take the stairs and use public transit. The movement is automatic, not forced, and it keeps activity levels high without needing extra motivation. In the US, most of us drive everywhere and sit all day, to include myself. Most of us, unfortunately, have to schedule movement because it's not built into our day. And number 3, and this is the most important one, cultural norms and identity around health. Japan being at a healthy weight is a standard, not an achievement. Overeating in society is discouraged. From childhood, people learn balanced eating and portion control. And those habits are reinforced by schools, the workplace, and even government health checks. Our government checks our blood pressure and our BMI, and then sends us to a nutritionist that gives us a random meal plan that we're not going to follow. Or nowadays have us talk to weight loss surgeon or put us on a GLP-1. Again, tell me I'm lying. Their environment supports good health instead of us. We just tend to react to bad health. We have a million solutions for weight loss, but do a terrible job of preventing weight gain to begin with. We've normalized overeating and sedentary living. We celebrate with cheat meals and treat ourselves instead of stopping when we had enough. And those habits get passed down, creating cycles that are hard to break. Over the years, I've coached entire generations who struggle with weight gain. Grandma, mom, daughter, granddaughter. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait for the country to change. Spoiler alert, it ain't going to.
All right, that's enough of that. All right, so basically, man, he's basically touched on the reason why Japan is the society that it is, and we touched on this earlier as well. But coming from his perspective, he definitely breaks it down in a more sensical way, a clearer way, right? A straightforward way. And he basically hit on 3 points. Basically, the food, as far as they hit their macros. The biggest one I see, number 2, is they don't snack, right? How many of us snack all the time? Like, we just randomly throughout the day, we just snacking on this, snacking on that, snacking on that. What we don't realize is snacking adds up, right? You take a bite of this cookie, you take a bite of that chip, you take a bite of this. Those things slowly add up, especially if they're not high in protein, right? If they're not protein snacks, if they're not things that are nutrient dense, you're not even going to really notice that you're not even hungry anymore, right? You just keep eating. So these things add up over time, and then before you know it, you didn't snacked on about 600 to 800 calories worth of snacks and not even realize it, because the Oreo cookies, the Cheez-Its, the Doritos, these are all nutrient dense foods. So you're not even going to realize that these things are not even keeping you full. So over time, you can eat a handful of Doritos, you can eat a handful of Oreos, and you're still going to feel hungry. Hence why it's so high in calories, right? It's high in calories, but it doesn't keep you full. And what we do is we tend to over snack on these things. And then eventually we done put on 800 to 1,000 calories in one sitting, on top of breakfast, on top of lunch, on top of dinner, right? And then we wonder why. How did I gain 5 pounds last month? It's the overconsumption of snacking. And then the third thing that he mentioned, which I always say why Japan is so elite in the way they live, is the structure they have in their society. Obesity is discouraged. Overeating is discouraged. They have a system as to when people eat. they plan their meals around their day, so they don't have the tendency to snack throughout the day, right? Snacking is really uncommon. It's only really common in social events. So these are things that they have in place that America does not have in place. There's food all around us. We can eat whenever we want. We eat when we bored. We eat when we happy. We eat when we sad. There's really no structure in place for us to not overeat, which is why we have the obesity rates that we do in this country. There's no structure, right? He talked about how it's prevalent in schools, in the workplace, in businesses. They plan um everything around the lifestyle. So it's uncommon for people to just snack when they're, whenever. So these are things that I wish that we could adopt and take in place, but it's never going to happen because the agenda out here is definitely real, right? There is an agenda out here to keep everybody fat, weak, and depressed. So they want everybody to be slaves, man. You can't fight back when you're weak, depressed, and fat. It's damn near impossible. They want everybody to be slaves. They want you to be compliant. You know, they don't want you to talk back. They don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you to have full autonomy over your life. No, they want to keep you on that hamster wheel. They want to keep you dangling that carrot right in front of you, so you never stop. It's a whole cycle. And just like he said, it gets passed down from parent to child and so on and so forth. It's a never ending cycle. And until we can see that and understand what is going on, we're never going to break that cycle. We're never going to break that cycle. People are too absorbed with food. People love food too much here. In America, we love food too much. Our whole life revolves around food. Our whole life revolves around eating and drinking and getting high. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the culture that we have here. We want to escape. We want to escape, but we can't escape. So the only real mechanism to coping with that is food. It's alcohol. It's drugs. This is American culture. So let's move on to the next article here, or video here, rather. Okay, this video here kind of touches on the winner's diet philosophy. It talks about how being cringe is going to be your superpower, right? It's going to be your best friend in your pursuit of whatever it is that you want to do, man, especially when it comes to content creation, putting out content, growing on social media. And look, I'm in the same process right now, so I can definitely speak on this. This is something that, I constantly battle throughout the day. Just even putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Like if you don't like talking on camera, this is being cringe, but you do it long enough, you get better at it, and eventually it's going to pop if you be consistent. So let's take a look at this video of what this dude says about everything you want is on the other side of cringe. All right, let's take a look.
Everything you want is on the other side of cringe. I saw this meme the other day and it just made me think about it. I think there's two parts to cringe. It's A, how it makes you feel. It sucks. It makes me feel like I suck. This is making me cringe. And then there's the imagination of what you think other people are saying. And sometimes they are. Sometimes they're saying, I can't believe they're trying to do that. Whether it's making content, just learning a language, learning an instrument, it's all on the other side of embarrassment, whether it be personal or social. The only way to get good at something is to immerse yourself in it and be bad at it. That's how you're going to figure out how to be good. When I first moved to Los Angeles to be an actor, I moved at the same time as another guy who never went to acting class. And he's still here in LA and is just kind of going, where's the work? I just don't get it. He never went to acting class. So he never found out that he was shit. I went to acting class, found out I was shit and got better. But he never went through the cringe. I went through the cringe. He didn't. The way in which you persist through the cringe will determine how successful you are at any given thing. If you're unwilling to go through the cringe, you will not get the results. People may be laughing about you today. They may be going, I can't believe they're trying so hard at this thing. But if you consistently stick at it for 2 years, I promise you will be laughing and they will not be. Everything.
Hey man, that is some real advice right there. And I can really relate to this, mainly because I am not the best speaker. When I decided to start this podcast or this live stream show and put myself out there, really, I understood that I'm not going to be good at this. I'm just not. And I've had podcasts before, right? But it was more so with people on there. I had different co-hosts. So for me, it was easier because I was just having a conversation. Now it's just me. It's just me by myself. So this is extremely harder than getting on a show with multiple people and you guys are having conversations. That's different. That's like barbershop talk. That's like you guys sitting down with your homies. Y'all just have a conversation. You don't even notice the camera's on. Now, me doing it by myself, I understand how hard this thing is. Because if you guys can see here, I'm not the greatest speaker. I stumble. I stutter from time to time. You know, I'm just not the best communicator. So I understand, and a lot of that comes from me being nervous. A lot of that comes from me not being fully confident in myself when it comes to just putting myself out there and doing things like this. I'm just not good at it, and that's okay. And I had to understand that this is going to be the reality for the next couple years, however long I decide to do this, right? I could get good at this in about a year, 2 years, 3. It doesn't matter. As long as I continue to keep going and perfecting my craft, I'm going to get better at it. Now, what comes with this and what's going to come with you doing things that you're not necessarily comfortable with you doing things that you're not fully confident in yourself with, is you're going to get people that are going to be laughing at you in the background. They may not be bringing it to your attention, right? They may not be laughing at you directly that you can see, but behind the scenes, they'll definitely be talking about you. They'll definitely be sharing your stuff with their friends. Oh, look, who does he think he is? Oh, look at her trying to be this, whatever, right? He thinks he's a podcaster. He thinks he's a streamer now. You're going to get those people that are going to talk about you, man, behind your back. So before you get uptight about it, before you get, in your feelings, just understand it's going to happen. And I know for me, it's happening right now, right? Because there are certain things that I post on my Instagram. I'm just like, this is kind of cringe. I don't really like this, but it has to be done. And I know there's going to be people that are going to have something to say about it, right? It may not be directly. They may not even interact with the post, but they see it. They see it and they're telling their friends, oh, who does he think he is? Oh, look, he's trying to be this. He thinks he's so-and-so. You're going to get that a lot, man. And the best thing that I can say, because I'm going through it right now, is just keep going harder. Just keep going. Because I guarantee you, just like homie said in the video, they might be laughing now, but in a few years, if you continue to be consistent with this, if you continue to double down and get better, and over time create an audience over this, you're going to be the one laughing in the end. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be in the same position they were in, just watching from the background. And this is usually what happens with most of your closet supporters, right? They really just stay in the background. They really don't interact with your posts. They don't comment. They don't engage, but they're looking at everything that you do. That's a fan to me. If you look at every post that I have and you don't engage and you don't interact with me, you're a fan of me. Even if you come off as a hater, you're still a fan. You still like the content, because if you didn't, you would have unfollowed me a long time ago or put me on mute or just scroll past it. But no, you took the time out of your day to look at a whole video that you thought was cringe. And the whole time I think it's cringe, but you're still watching it. So the moral of the story here is it doesn't matter if what you're doing is cringe, man. You're doing what most people are not doing. So keep being cringe. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep making videos that you feel like is authentically you. Because eventually what's going to happen is the tide is going to shift. Eventually you're going to catch on fire. Eventually your videos are going to start hitting, and they're going to start hitting the algorithm, and people are going to start sharing it and commenting and liking and subscribing. And then they're going to come around and show love. That's usually how it goes. And you got to be okay with that. Don't be negative or you wasn't there from the beginning. Nah, bro, it's just how people are. It's human nature. People like social proof. We don't support shit until other people do it. It's just like when you dating a girl or you want to date a girl, right? And you're single. A lot of women don't like men when they have no girls. But get you a girlfriend, get you a wife. Watch that same person come back around and be 110% cooperative. They're showing you 110% cooperation now that you have somebody. It's just how people are. So don't get offended, man. Just keep working. You're going to know the supporters that support you. And 9 times out of 10, the most supportive people are going to be strangers. Those are going to be the ones that support you. It's happened to me right now. I'm posting on Instagram every single day, 2-3 times a day. I rarely get any support from people that I know. Yes, I might have friends and that support here and there that might interact and comment, that might like my photo and share it here and there. But that is like, I know who's gonna do that. That's how small it is. Like, I can expect, yeah, this person's gonna like it, that person's gonna share it, that person's gonna comment. I know already who's gonna do what. But TikTok, my shit is blowing up on TikTok, right? Or at least it's growing rapidly, faster than I expected. And guess what? It's all strangers. It's all strangers. I don't know any of these people. I don't know who's liking my shit. I don't know who's commenting, but they're engaging and they're doing way more than people that I actually know. So that is what is going to happen when you're on this journey. So if your plan is to be, a social media content creator or just putting yourself out there on the internet, just understand this is what to expect. It doesn't matter if you think it's cringe. Somebody's going to watch it and eventually someone's going to support it. So, all right, man, this is the last, I don't think we have time for this last one. So let's just go straight to the main event, man. Yeah, let's just go straight to the main event. That was the last one. That was a long tangent. Okay, so the main event, man, this is interesting. So today we're talking about how you think you have time, but you don't, right? A lot of us think we have time. A lot of us think we have time to go get in shape. A lot of us think that we have time to, prioritize our health. Right now, I'm focused on the bag. I want to get money. I want to live my life and I want to do this and that. But it doesn't get easier as you get older. It gets significantly harder. You thinking that you're going to be 45, 50 years old, finally making the money you want to make. And now let me go jump into getting in shape. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's going to be extremely difficult. Because now you're battling 20, 30, 40 years of bad habits. You're trying to squeeze that into 6 weeks, 8 weeks of being consistent. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen how you think it's going to happen. I'll say that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's not going to happen how you think is going to happen. Like, we act like tomorrow is guaranteed. We act like, we have so much time out here. We think we can just put shit on the back burner. The most important thing we have is our health. And we think we can just put that on the back burner and go live life. Let me go chase this bag. Let me go chase this girl. Let me go chase. This doesn't even really apply to fitness, man. This is worldwide shit. The biggest lie the biggest lie that we always tell ourselves is, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start Monday. I'll start, January 1st. Well, we don't have time. We don't have time. Because one thing that y'all need to realize is your 20s go by quick, man. I just turned 30 in January. And it really, to me, it feels like just yesterday I was turning 21. That's how fast this shit goes by. It feels like yesterday I was turning 21. I'm 30 now, bro. I'm about to be 31 in 6 months. We're already in August. Yeah, January 12th, I'll be 31, bro. And in 10 years I'll be 40. And that's going to go by quick. Like, we don't realize how fast time goes, man. Time does not wait on nobody, bro. Like, every year that we develop negative habits, that's just more years of time that you have to get back. That's just more years of things that you have to undo. Bad habits that you develop right now, it's just more years of compounded work that you have to do to fix those bad habits. So you might as well start now while you have the energy, the youth, the time. Because as you get older, bro, you got responsibilities. You might have a family, you might have a wife, you have a business, you have work, you have obligations, you got kids, extracurricular activities. Like, these things do not make it convenient for you to get in better shape. It just doesn't. Life really is meant, if you don't put yourself in the best position, life is really meant to destroy you. Again, if you don't put yourself in the best position to win, it's really meant to destroy you, mainly because there's so many factors that come with life that are out of your control, that you don't expect to see coming, that is going to hinder your goals. How many of you guys have had goals and say, oh, by this age, I want to do this. By this age, I want to have this. By that age, I want to do this and that. And then that age gets there and you look back and you be like, damn, I thought by now I have this. The whole time life been whooping your ass, giving you curveballs, giving you things that you didn't expect to happen, giving you emergencies that happened that, you had no idea would happen. And now it just threw off most of your plans. And that's what happens when you constantly put things off to the last minute, mainly your health, bro. Mainly your health. We have this weird illusion of time. Like, it's crazy. And we don't understand the cost of wasted time. Let me just run some stats by you guys. For you guys that don't understand how much time costs. So, muscle decline. Men lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade after age 30, with the rate accelerating after 40. After 50, muscle declines at about 1 to 2% per year, and strength declines even faster, 1.5 to 5% per year if you're inactive. Loss of muscle, sarcopenia, equals weaker metabolism, which equals harder fat loss, which equals more fat gain. When it comes to your testosterone and hormones, testosterone naturally declines about 1% per year after age 30. This is if you're inactive and don't work out. Men who stay sedentary stay steeper drops compared to men who stay sedentary see steeper drops compared to those who lift and stay lean. Low testosterone equals low energy, which equals low muscle retention, which equals reduced libido, which equals more fat storage. This is what happens when you put off working out until your late 40s, your 50s. This is what you have to deal with. But most people, they don't even weigh these costs. They just think, oh, I'm gonna work. I got time. I'm gonna work out later on. Let me just chase this bag. Let me focus on my job. Let me focus on this. But you don't understand how much it's costing you down the line. Our main superpower as men is our libido, our testosterone. That's what gives us the drive to wake up every day. When you neglect your health and staying active and staying in shape, you slowly lose your superpower. You slowly lose the main thing that makes you a man. So why would you put that off? Why would you even risk seeing that decline? Right? Let me show y'all a video real quick of a man who talks about how he wishes he had more time. And this is unrelated to fitness, but it's still in the same category, right? He's talking about lust, how he was chasing women, but it kind of comes back to the topic of wasted time and what he could have did and what he wishes he did. It's all the same thing. So let's take a look at it right now, man.
Look back on all of the time that I wasted on bullshit, women, relationships, chasing box, all of that stuff. This could have been time that I could have been doing the things that I'm telling you about now. This could have been time that I could have learned a new skill that by now I would have mastered, and I would have been able to make tons of money at it. This would have been the time that it would have took for me to try new things and no, I don't like that. Let me go to another thing and then find out what I really want to do and then learn it, develop it, master it even, right? But I wasted all of that time and now I'm against time. Look back on all of the time that I wasted on bullshit, women, relationships.
This could be applied to 99% of people, man. Don't be like that guy. And I'm not shitting on him. And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, be an asshole. But at the same time, you don't want to get to that point in life where you're 55 and you're looking back, feeling regretful on everything that you should have done. This is the cost of waiting till the last minute. This is the cost of thinking you have time. I'm not saying you're going to be 55 in a post office truck making YouTube videos, but you guys get what I'm saying. You guys get the gist of what I'm saying is you don't want to have any regret. You don't want to have any thoughts of I wish I could have did this. So if you're able-bodied right now, if you have the energy, if you have the drive, the motivation, you need to start now. You don't want to be like that. Sometimes it takes you being in isolation. I'm not saying cut everybody off and don't talk to anybody and be a fucking monk. Sometimes that works, but you have to do it in your way that is healthy and sustainable for you. So whatever area in life that you're lacking, if you guys are watching, it's mainly to get in shape. Well, then you need to formulate a plan that's going to help you get there. And that's what I do. If you guys are watching, I do online coaching, and we do make structures for our clients so that they can reach their fitness goals. We go over your game plan. We go over your goals. We go over your lifestyle. And we curate a plan that is meant for you and only you so that you don't have to be like this guy. So at least now you have the information to get yourself to where you need to be at. It just takes 90 days, yo. It takes 90 days of just intense focus and dedication and consistency to really see a massive change in your body. It doesn't take that long. 90 days. Now, if you're a heavier set individual, then it might take a little bit longer. But if your main goal is to get in shape and cut down some body fat, if you're the average male, right, then it just takes 3 months, bro. It takes 90 days of just consistency, focus, training, the right diet to really see a massive change in your body. It doesn't take that long. And that's the greatest thing about getting in shape. Again, if you're an average male, if you're an average male with the average male body type, the greatest thing about fitness and being in shape is that you can calculate when you can get in shape. You can calculate as to when you can start seeing drastic changes. When it comes to making money in business, these are things you really can't predict. You might start a business and you make money in 5 years, 10 years. You can make money in the first year. It's very unpredictable. But with fitness, there's a science behind it. There's macros to back it. You know, there's a whole system in place to where if you follow this program in about 3 to 6 months of consistent training and focus, you will guarantee see results. And that is the honest truth. That is the greatest thing about fitness, man. You can really dictate when you can really see results if you follow a structured plan. And it could be the same in financials. You know, I'm not really too big on that. I really do think that is something that is unpredictable. But with fitness, at least we know there is science behind it. So it really just takes baseline 3 months, 90 days of just consistent focus. And you'll see results. And you won't have any regrets. You won't have any second thoughts about what you wish you could have did when you was 25 or 30 or 35. Now you're 55. Now you're 60. I see guys all the time, man, that are in their 70s, you know, older individuals now trying to get in shape. And I'm not saying it's too late, but man, you missed the 8 ball, man. You missed it. You're way behind now. You've already developed things that really you probably can't get rid of, that you could have avoided had you started earlier. But most of us, we don't take shit serious until something drastic happens to us, or worse, it's too late. So, man, that's been today's show, man. I really appreciate you guys for tapping in. This has been a great show. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below anything you guys want to see on the next episode. We will be back tomorrow night. So also follow me on all my socials, as you guys can see right here, TikTok, Instagram, for all the Winners Diet content, Winners Diet TV. And then if you want to follow my personal page, it's here, Project Mac. But yeah, man, today's been a great show. We appreciate you guys for tapping in, staying for the whole show. Tomorrow we'll be back again. And until then, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Be safe. Peace.